You're listening to Les Get Things Straight with Alerco02 and RCK Films. Fuck bitches and level up.
I'm ready. Okay.
Ready.
Say apple.
Apple.
Beautiful. You
And
start.
bananas. Why do you put me on the thing like this?
Because it's just funny.
I breathed in too hard.
Never
Hi,
fail.
everybody, and welcome to Let's Get Things Straight. I'm Lurk.
And I'm a Lurker01.
And I guess that little weasel over there is Bob.
Wait, did you not hear what I said?
No, all I heard was silent and then a...
I said I'm a Lurker01.
Oh, jeez. Thank you, Discord. Thank you.
Discord's great, especially when it's been acting up lately. Whenever we record a podcast,
The last, 3 times?
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So get your shit together. An update would be great.
Yeah. Don't make us go back to Skype. I don't want to go back.
No Skype. No.
You're on Skype a lot.
I know, but I wouldn't want to be able to, like gaming through it or, talking to people that way is just so rough when it comes to this shit.
I
Me
used
too.
To do that.
I used to do that too, and it was rough, and it would... Honestly, it cut out a lot more than Discord.
Because a lot of my friends never went on, a PlayStation party. We just stayed on Skype while we played our games on either PC or PlayStation.
Yeah.
And it was just very, weird.
Oy. Oy vey.
Oy vey. With Discord, it's just so much easier, finally.
Discord is so much easier that way.
God bless.
So I guess this podcast is gonna be up on the 25th. So happy
Probably.
Halloween weekend, y'all.
Yeah, bitches.
Bitches. Today's episode, we're gonna be talking about our personal spoopy scary stories, and then we're gonna read some random people's scary stories.
I thought you said spoopy, like boobies.
Yeah. Boobies. Spoopies.
Spoopies. There you go. We're gonna be telling you some spoopy stories.
I didn't even see her face, but she got scary spoopies.
Just be like, what are scary scary spoopies? Just imagine a really old lady with just drooping tits. Call those spoopies.
Oh, dear God. Nasty. You nasty
Yes.
boy.
I'm a very nasty man.
He's a nasty man.
Yee. So who should go first?
You start us off since you have more interaction. Well, actually, should we just say how, if we believe in the ghosties and the in supernatural and stuff, what our extent to that is?
Long story short, yes.
Okay, yeah.
For me, yes.
Me the same.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
I think if you mess with a Ouija board, you're a dumbass and you're bringing in bad spirits.
you're asking
And
for trouble if you do
You're
that.
literally asking for trouble.
Yeah, you're asking for trouble, and that's just.
I used to watch so much Ghost Hunters when I was a kid.
So did I.
Oh my God, the kids one where the kids were all decked out.
I don't
Did you
remember
watch that one too? Oh my God! So
No.
there was the adult one, right, where the adults did it.
That's the only
And then
one I
there
watched.
there was a Ghost Hunters kids one.
Really?
And it was just it was just you know how trading spaces was a thing, and adults would trade spaces.
Yeah,
with
yeah.
It. Yeah, there was a kids version of that too.
I knew about the Trading Spaces kid, but I never knew about the Ghost Hunters one.
Yeah, the Ghost Hunters one was fucking awesome.
What the fuck?
It aired really late at night because the show did not do very well.
I guess not, because I guess I was asleep whenever it was on.
Oh my God, that was insane.
Wow. No, I watched the adult Ghost Hunters, and that was my shit. Yeah, is it maybe bullshit? Probably, but I still thought it was fucking awesome.
I mean, to an extent, it seems like half of that crap is bullshit, but then,
No.
that shit does happen, though. So,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Where would I start? Because, like I said, I've had a lot of experiences with some spoopy stuff. And I think my dog is sneezing in the background. Bless you, Chopper. Bless you, Chopper.
Oh.
Bless you,
no.
Chopper.
Oh, no.
Bless you, Chopper.
Oh, no.
Are you going? Okay, he's done. Anyway, that was Chopper, ladies and
It's
gentlemen.
Chopper sneezing.
He's going to the vet tomorrow.
Hmm.
Yeah, just his leg's been limping lately, so I'm just gonna see if he's okay. He's fine.
He's just
but
old.
He's just old. He'll be 10 next year, so that's gonna suck.
He's an old fart.
He's an old
sneezes
fart.
a lot.
He does sneeze a lot. He farts a lot too, so
He farted and woke Rob up. It was
I
fucking
still think
funny.
that was me.
I mean, who knows at this point? Who knows?
I felt the bed vibrate, so
Jesus Christ.
we'll give context later. Anyway. So, alright, so this happened. I was asleep. My voice cracked. I hit puberty. I was asleep when this happened, but my mom and dad recall this vividly. So someone in the family, like, passed away. And by someone in the family, it was, like, my half-brother's stepdad, who didn't really like my dad. Long story short, he didn't really like my dad. So when he passed away, we all went to his funeral and we paid our respects. And then my mom put me to sleep. She watched TV. My dad was sleeping downstairs. And all of a sudden, my mom heard... Have you seen houses where, like, leading to the basement, you have those hooks in the wall? Whereas, like, you put your baseball bat stuff or coat. It's like
Yeah.
coat hanger. So we had a baseball bat hanging from the handle on one of the hooks that's leading towards downstairs, and it sounded like someone picked up the handle, banged 3 steps, and then just dropped the bat, and it rolled around the floor.
The fuck?
And my mom went up, and she was screaming my dad's name and going, "What the hell was that?" My dad was sound asleep. My dad was just completely knocked out.
Oh my
That's-
god, great dad.
Yeah, and she sees a bat just on the floor, and she's like, "What the fuck happened there?" All right, that's okay. That was weird. I'm just gonna put this bat back here, and I hope that doesn't happen again. So some time passes that same night. She gets ready for bed, and as she's getting ready for bed, what was that noise?
Oh, did you hear my ceiling?
Oh, was that what that was?
Yeah, this is my human's walking around.
Oh, I thought it was a ghost here. I was like, what was that?
Spoopy.
No! Fuck it. The ghost wants to be like, hey, I want to be here too.
I want to be here too. Wait, let's do this. If there's any ghosts or spirits, whisper into the mic now.
You're all fucking gay. So anyway, yeah. So my mom gets ready to go to bed, and as she lays right down, the stereo begins to blast the full volume. Like, whatever station was on, it goes all the way up to like 11. And it just,
Jeez.
like I'm sure the whole block heard it. Was just fucking, "Born in the USA!" It was so fucking loud, my mom says. But I was still asleep. And my mom, like, jumped, like, almost fell out of the bed, like, what the fuck? And my dad's downstairs going, "What the hell was that?"
Jesus Christ.
And apparently, yeah, I was asleep during the whole thing. So I don't remember it,
You sleep like the dead.
I guess. So that's apparently a story that my mom and dad experienced, excuse me.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Do you have a personal ghost story?
I mean, none of mine's going to be, like, that good. But when I
No?
was younger and when I was in Girl Guides, we went to this, bird sanctuary because there was a museum there.
Mm-hmm.
So it was some Girl Guide field trip thing. And the attic of the house is haunted by a chick who used to work there. And it was back in the time, like, the time cards where you would take the card with your name on it, put it in the machine, it stamps the time and date, and you move it over and you move it out at the end at the shift. Yeah. So they had one of those, and they still use that. And they still had her card in that rack, and they still to this day have her card in that rack. And every day it moves over by itself and moves back. And they've had people say, like, while they're in the museum, that they hear footsteps above them
Uh-huh.
and whatever. And she was even like, sometimes you can see, like, because there's one window on the top. Sometimes people have said that they've seen her, like, figure in the window.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I didn't think of anything of it at the time. I thought it was so cool that a ghost could, like, clock in and out. But, my mom was one of the leaders, so was a couple of my friends' moms too, and they were chatting, so we were all in the parking lot just waiting, and it's like just past dusk and whatever,
right.
so like it's still like a little bit of light but not much, and I swear to God, because I just looked up and I saw that window, and I saw a figure in the window, and I was like, did you guys see that? And someone else saw it too. It was creepy.
That's fucking weird.
Right?
My old house, the same house where that story happened I told previously, there would be weird noises going on in the attic. Like, it would sound like footsteps. And there was no one there. My mom was at work, I was in bed, and my dad would be asleep. My dad would be, like, so sort of awake. And we would just hear these fucking noises. And never to this day, I have no idea what it was. It legit just sounded like just someone like walking upstairs. And my dad would always tell me, "Oh yeah, those are the ghosts of the people that used to live in this house." I was 6.
Oh my God, your dad's an asshole.
That messed me up. I was 6.
Don't tell a 6-year-old that shit.
Yeah, he spooked me early. There was another experience, I think actually 10 years ago. Not today, but like towards the beginning of like 2009. I used to put on like this old TV station that would play like old shows and everything like that. And late at night, they would have Twilight Zone and Night Gallery. Like those kind of scary shows. And I would always be like, fuck yeah, this is the shit. And, one night, I was sleeping with it on because I scared myself too much. And I was also really obsessed with Ghost Hunters, so I would be on the internet watching Ghost Hunters videos. And then I would watch Twilight Zone and Night Gallery. And Night Gallery was somewhat the show that really fucked me up. I was so terrified of what that show was about. There was at one point where I had the TV on and I was just, like, I had it on mute and I was just sleeping with some other lights on and I was so scared. And I tried to close my eyes. And I thought I heard my mom right in my ear say my name. Like she went towards my ear and said, "Bobby," like that. Not even like whispering, like "Bobby," like that. And I thought, like, what? What happened? What? And there was no one there. So I thought,
shit.
So I thought, like, is my mom calling me? It's not time for her to go to work yet. And I open the door and I see her in her room and she's like completely asleep. And that's about it.
I mean, it is normal to hear supposedly it's a sign of a healthy brain if you hear someone call your name. Because that happens to me quite often. I'll just be, like, hanging out, and then I'll hear my name. And I'm
really?
Like, yeah.
Huh. Weird.
And it's not, like, that sounds a lot louder than what, like, I hear it at.
Because it legit sounded like she was right at my ear, saying my name. And when I woke up...
That's just really weird.
Yeah. Yeah, it was fucking weird. And I'm not sure if this counts as spoopy, but it's very fucking weird. There is one night where I was up late editing, and I was so tired, but I couldn't stop editing this video because I was so proud of what I was able to do with this. So I was up all night, all day, just editing, adding more shit. And I heard I don't know if it's ghost. You know when they say, like, when there's ghosts around you, you feel like a bit of a chill?
Yeah.
I kind of felt that, but not so much, because it was already kind of cold outside, so I didn't know if that was just cold because it was cold outside, or there's people around me.
Yeah.
But I heard a group of British people telling me to go to sleep.
What?
It was a whole group of, like, men and women telling me, "Mate, you're fucking tired. You gotta go to bed, mate." You've been up for fucking 7 hours, mate. You gotta go.
The
And I was,
fuck?
yeah, and I was like talking to them. I was like, hey, I don't want to go to bed. Wait, who the fuck am I talking to? And I was hearing them, and they weren't like they were just faintly in the back of my brain. I heard them like loud and clear. Like, you gotta go to bed, mate. Like shit like that.
The fuck?
Uh-huh. And it happened again sometime last year, and I remember I was messaging you on Discord where I was like still up really late, and I was like, I can't sleep, and this British people tell me to go to bed because I heard them again.
You need to go see a medium.
I thought about it because I can very much guarantee that this house is haunted.
Oh yeah.
I have
But I
friendly
mean, if you're
spirits like
hearing
that.
British people, like,
Yeah.
who the fuck is connected to you that
I don't
that's
know.
British and tells you to sleep?
I don't know. I mean, most of the time, British people keep me awake. So,
Oh my god.
yeah. And because I heard him again, I think it was last year. I just like, go to bed, mate. It's almost 5 a.m. You gotta go to bed. I'm like, okay. It was fucking weird.
Oh my god.
Yeah, my mom's seen some ghosts in the basement.
That's great.
My mom was sometimes, like, if she's in the mood, she'll sing. We have a karaoke machine in our basement, so she'll sing downstairs if she just feels like it. And she was singing, like, this choir kind of song, and she swore, no pun intended, she swore to God, at the corner of her eye, she saw, like, a white flash. And it wasn't, like, a quick flash. It was, like, a white flash. Not flash, but, like, a white light was, like, surrounding her as she was singing this heavenly song, and then it went away.
The fuck?
Yeah. So, some shit happens in this house.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
only, like, so, okay, so there was one time that I felt pushed by a ghost down the stairs here.
Oh, okay.
Because I was walking, like, my foot was completely on the step, and then I just fucking,
Whiffed.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it kind of felt like something pushed me, but besides that, like, the only thing that's, like, really happened is I think my last cat that I had before Spaz, she definitely, like, is still here because Spaz, like, out of nowhere, he'll, like, be, like, you know, chilling, like he's about to sleep, and then get extremely hyper, and his tail will fluff out, and he kind of, like, starts to run around the house or act like there's something at his level that's by him. So I think, like, she puts him in his place a lot, because it happened a lot more when we first got him.
Right.
And it's, like, once in a blue moon now. So it's nice to know that my cat Amy is like here being like, hey, you
Hi.
be a good boy.
My mom sometimes hears my old dog in her room.
Wow.
Like, she would hear her collar, and she would hear, like, what sounded like a dog turning around on the floor trying to look for a comfortable spot, and then she would hear the like sigh that dogs do before they lay down.
Dang.
Yeah. So she's been gone for like 4 or 5 years now. So, and I would say, like, are you hearing Chopper? Because he's in my room. And she's like, no, it sounds like it's literally at the end of the bed. And I'm like, that's spoopy.
Spoopy.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the liquor store that I work at is haunted.
Oh, it has to be.
It used to be a auto body shop, so I'm sure somebody must have died there eventually. Like,
Probably, yeah. Like, yeah, most likely.
because if you're there like super early in the morning, the cooler doors.
And which you mostly are there early.
I'm
in the
mostly
morning.
there super early in the morning, so I experience it a lot, and it happens. Some things happen when it's slow too, but most of the time, the big thing I noticed when I first started working there, and I started doing openings and stuff, was the cooler door would open. Like, you know how when you go into a grocery store or anything, and there's multiple cooler doors to open, like the glass ones that you can see to pull out cold stuff.
Yeah.
Like, one of those doors will open extremely wide and then just slam shut all by themselves. And a lot of people put it off as it's the fan blowing it open, but when the fan kicks on and it opens the doors, it's maybe like an inch or two, not like a foot and a half. The only time it opens a foot and a half is if you slam the back of the cooler door shut. Then that gust makes them open that big. But if you're there alone, nobody's opening that thing and slamming it. You'd literally be standing at the front and it just almost opens completely wide and then shuts. And it's like, oh, great. The ghost wants beer. Our indoor too, no one will be outside walking past it, and it'll just open on its own. And a couple times it's been a spider because we've gone and checked, but there's a lot of times where it happens like with nothing around it, like there's no spider, no webs, no bugs or anything, and it'll just open. The bathroom door in the back has locked itself somehow, which is a really hard thing to do because we all leave the door open. But there was one time where the door was like closed and completely locked, and the last person who was in it left the door open.
Chopper, what are you doing? Why are you crying?
It's doing your mom. Oh.
Doing your mom. Doing your mom. Chopper, why are you crying? I'm trying to listen to the story. You want something. Anyway, continue.
But yeah, there's just a lot of like small things happen too. Like you'll get that cold air feeling once in a while. And then you hear like sounds and stuff in the back. But even like Jessica, she's
Shout out Jessica.
Shout out to Jessica. She says for sure like there's a ghost here. Like she feels it all the time.
Jesus.
Yeah.
There was one time where, and again, I don't know if this is a ghost.
Excuse me.
What the fuck? That was intense.
It's a spoopy burp.
That was the spoopiest burp I think you've ever done.
Spoopy burp. Spoopy
God
burp.
damn.
Boo beach.
But yeah, so, okay, Chopper. So yeah, there was one time where I was sleeping, like, early in the morning, and I knew I had to wake up because I had to do a thing. And I heard what sounded like my conscience trying to wake me up, and it wasn't a British voice this time. It was like, wake the hell up. I don't wanna. Wake the hell up. No, I don't wanna. You gotta do the thing. I don't wanna wake up. You have a big nose. And I got up and I said, oh, that's just rude. Wait, who am I talking to? Yeah, I was like, who am I talking to? And why did it say I have a big nose? That's fucking rude as hell.
You have a big nose. Fuck you,
Apparently, fuck you, conscience. Fucking rude as hell. My nose is perfectly fine.
Oh, goodness.
You have a big nose. That's just rude.
Oh my god.
That's about all my ghost stories. Or just weird shit.
The only other
goes
thing
on.
that's happened to me that like I think spirit's been involved is like I almost got into a really bad car accident like a year or two ago.
Oh shit.
And I was on one of the bypasses coming home, so the speed limit's 70 kilometers per hour. Remember, I'm Canadian, y'all. And the light that I was coming up to, there's two straight lanes, and then the left lane, a turning lane comes out of it when you get closer to the light. And there's always a lineup of cars there. And the second person in line in the turning lane, I was coming, and because people go, at least 10 over. So I was going about 75, 80. And this guy just shoots out of nowhere right in front of me. And I don't know what took over, but I missed his car merging into the other lane by 2 inches. Because he clearly didn't look. He shouldn't have fucking moved.
How long ago was this?
About a year and a half ago. Maybe 2
Jeez.
at the most. It was scary as fuck because I got the fuck over right away, and I could just feel like it was my grandma for sure. I could tell she was protecting me. But
Huh.
some dude behind me saw what happened, and he sped up to me because I slowed down the minute I got through the intersection because I was like, what the fuck just happened? And he sped up to me, and he looked over at me, and he gave me a huge thumbs up, and I'm just sitting there sobbing while I'm driving because I was like, what the fuck? I could have probably died in that car accident.
Wow.
Because the way it all happened, I would have been dead for sure.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Oh
It
wait,
was
okay. I got 2
intense.
more stories.
Go for it.
All right, well, were you done with the?
Yeah, I'm
stuff?
done. I'm done.
Okay. All right. So one, I have a story that's kind of similar to that. When I was a baby, my mom drove me around this park. That used to be by my old house, one of my old houses, and no need to flex. And hey, we move a lot, and apparently, like when she got me out of the car, I somehow like got out of my buggy without her noticing. She was like looking at the other way. She was like like removing stuff from the other side of the car, and I somehow got out of my buggy. And I was walking across. I was walking, trying to walk across the street, and there was
Oh,
a car.
God.
And there was a car coming. And you know that moment where if something happens that's so horrific, you kind of freeze in fear.
Yeah.
My mom said she froze in fear when she saw me walking across the street with a car speeding, not just towards the direction I was at, and not being able to slow down.
Yeah.
And my mom was about to scream, and she said all of a sudden, it seemed like some type of force pushed me out of the way.
Weird.
Like something was like, either like I was a soccer ball and it kicked me out of the way. And I ended up like my butt slammed to the curb and I was crying. And then my mom picked me up and she's like, what the fuck happened? Like it legit, like some weird energy, like literally just pushed me out of the way so the car could get by without running me over.
What the fuck?
Uh-huh. Yeah. That's fucking weird.
Very.
Now, the last ghost story that I remember that happened to me not long ago was a little bit before I met you.
Oh, God.
I took an emo walk down emo lane, which means I took an emo walk around a cemetery. And I forgot what you call it, but it's the type of house where there's like 3 or 4 tombstones buried in the wall. I forgot what it's called. It's like a little shed in the cemetery thing.
Like an epitaph?
I think so. Yeah. I feel not like an asshole that I
Epitaph?
can't.
Epitaph?
I can't. Yeah.
Something.
Episode.
that
I-
episode.
I feel like shit that I can't remember what it's called, but I walked by one because I liked the decor because the cemetery just right by my house is really fucking dope and very gothic. So I was all for it, but I didn't realize that one of the windows had smashed, and it was like pitch black inside the shed, and it was like bright outside. And I was like, oh shit, it's very fucking dark out. It's because I'm a genius. I took a closer look in that little window area to see if I could find anything. And like right as I got close to it, it looked like the room got brighter as I looked inside it. And I saw like the cemeteries, I saw the coffins in the wall. And I was like, oh, fuck, what the fuck? All right, I'm gone. I'm leaving. And I was walking out of the cemetery, and while I was walking away from it and heading towards home, I had this weird feeling like I was being followed or being watched. I was like, I don't feel right. I crossed the tracks that was leading towards the cemetery. And as I crossed it, like, not even like 10 steps away from, not even 10 steps, like 7 steps away from the train tracks, a train came zooming by. And I didn't hear the thing, like the gates go down or the ding, 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 ding thing.
Yeah.
I didn't hear that. And I didn't see a train coming or anything like that. But out of nowhere, I looked behind me and a train was like there already. And I was like, what the fuck? I didn't hear a train.
You need to sage your house.
I know, but it just wait. So I was like, what the fuck? I didn't hear a train. I didn't even see it. I looked both ways. What the fuck? All right, I'm just going to keep going. Kept going. And then I almost got hit by a car. I didn't even see the car coming. But to be fair, I don't think the person saw me there. So like oh my god, are you alright, man? I was like, yeah, I'm good. I'm sorry. And he goes, no, thank God I didn't run you over. He's like, all right, well, have a good one. Thanks for not running me over. So I go home. Before I go home, I cross my block. I'm heading towards the door. I smell smoke. My neighbor's garage is on fire.
The fuck?
Yeah, and there's like fire trucks like already there, and I'm like, what the fuck happened? And I was like, I think an evil spirit followed me home.
Well, yeah, hanging out in cemeteries might get you a ghost.
I've never gone back inside that cemetery. I have to cross that cemetery a lot when I'm walking, but I haven't gone back inside there since. So, and that's it. That's about all my ghost stories. That, I think, is the most wild one. Besides the first one I told today. So, that's how you get ghost.
That's how you get a ghost.
Yeah. So, I live a very spoopy life.
Yeah, you need to get some sage and sage your house.
I need to bring a fucking cross with me.
Well,
now,
sage
I'm
the
not
house
that religious.
with the cross.
Yeah, I'm not that religious, but I'm willing to fucking like, the power of Christ compels this place. The power of Christ compels this place. So I also have a dog in my lap because he was whining about whatever, so I'm giving him loves.
I think my cat's on my couch.
Meow.
He's been super cuddly with me the last couple days. It's like, are you sick? Are you okay? Hello?
Yeah. Maybe they sense the ghosts.
Oh, yeah.
Which I definitely believe they could sense shit.
Oh, yeah. Young kids and animals know when a ghost is around. For sure.
Well, how many times have we heard stories of like a little kid going like, who is that? I'm playing with this boy. And they think it's an imaginary friend, but it turned out to be a ghost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So many.
Kids are creepy.
Speaking of creepy, I've got a few really short spoopy stories that I found on the internets. This first one is called The Puppy in the Basement.
Oh, good.
This short ghost story was found on Reddit and is super creepy.
Not like we go on Reddit or anything.
No, not at all.
No one goes on Reddit.
Mommy told me to never go in the basement, but I wanted to see what was making that noise. It kind of sounded like a puppy, and I wanted to see the puppy. So I opened the basement door and tiptoed down a bit. I didn't see a puppy, and then Mommy yanked me out of the basement and yelled at me. Mommy had never yelled at me before, and it made me sad and I cried. Then Mommy told me never go in the basement again, and she gave me a cookie. That made me feel better, so I didn't ask her why the boy in the basement was making noises like a puppy, or why he had no hands or feet.
Wait, what?
That made me feel better, so I didn't ask her why the boy in the basement was making noises like a puppy, or why he had no hands or feet.
Okay.
What? That story went from 0 to 100 real quick.
What the fuck? I'm concerned.
I'm concerned.
I have questions. Several questions.
Why? Did the mom know that there was a boy down there? Like,
what the fuck?
Mommy?
Okay.
The next one is called Nunchucks.
Yeah.
Michelle
Obama.
Froelich Young had a strange experience with her 2-year-old daughter, and this is submitted to movie plot? I don't know. Anyways.
All right.
When my daughter was 2, I found her twirling paper towel tubes tied with twine in the air. I asked her what she was doing. She said she was practicing her nunchucks. I was very confused as she'd have no way of knowing what they were. I asked her what she meant, and she said that Adam told her how to make them and showed her each night how to use them. She went on to say that Adam told her to practice because she may need to know how to defend herself someday. I almost freaked out, but asked her what Adam looked like. She said he was tall, blonde, and had blue eyes. She said, "Mommy, you know how he looks. You know him. He died of a headache." I had to leave the room. You see, 4 months before she was born, my tall, blonde, blue-eyed martial arts pro friend had died of a brain aneurysm at the age of 27. She has not spoken of him since that day, so I'm not sure if I scared her with my reaction or if she had completed her lessons.
Okay.
What?
What the fuck?
That's really weird.
Yeah.
What? But there's shit that happens like that, so who knows?
Yeah. What the fuck?
There's someone under the bed. Sometimes the very short ghost stories are the best, and this tale from Reddit via BuzzFeed tells the story of a father putting his young son to bed.
Not like we go on BuzzFeed or anything.
Not at all. I begin tucking him into bed, and he tells me, "Daddy, check for monsters under my bed." I look underneath for his amusement and see him, another him, under the bed, staring back at me, quivering, and whispering, "Daddy, there's somebody on my bed." That's fake. That's fake.
I remember that story from a while ago.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Daddy, there's somebody on my bed.
But you know what this suddenly reminded me of? There was this story. I don't remember where it took place. I think somewhere in Canada, but I don't remember where. Maybe, let's say for the
Canada's
hell of it.
very haunted, so.
Let's say for the hell of it, Toronto. Maybe. I genuinely don't remember where the story was. But there was this woman that was staying in this hotel that's apparently haunted. And you could watch video of this happening. Mm-hmm. So, this Asian woman was staying in this hotel, and like she was like this college student, and things were going well for her and everything like that. And there's this security footage of her. By the way, if you're hearing weird noises, that's my dog. So he's on my lap. He's making weird sounds. So she goes in this elevator, and you can watch footage of this. She goes inside, and as soon as the doors close, she's like acting very weird. She's like leaning towards the wall. She's like jilting a lot, making just strange movements. And like the doors, oh no, the elevator doors never closed. So she's just standing in the elevator waiting for it to close, and it's not closing at all. So she's like looking outside, like someone's following her, someone's watching her, no one there. Look out, no one's there. She keeps looking, and she's like fucking hiding, jilting her head, doing all kinds of weird shit. I think at one point she maybe does like a weird pose or something like that. And like she's moving her arms around, like trying to grab at something that's not there. And then she leaves the elevator door, and as soon as she leaves, the elevator finally closes. And then that's where the video ends, but the story gets even weirder. She turns out missing. No one knows where she was. She never checked out or anything like that. Well, it turns out that this hotel used to be the place that a famous serial killer used to stay at. And he killed a lot of people in this hotel. So it's very clear that it's haunted. At one point, the hotel was getting complaints that the water tastes disgusting. It was like, the water looks black, and there's this awful smell coming from the water pipes. Like this really horrible, putrid smell. So they call a plumbing company to go investigate, and they go on top of this hotel where the water tower is and everything like that. And there's like a bunch of water towers there. Not like actual like those big water towers, like little tiny like tubs.
Yeah.
They open a tub and they see her body floating on top.
The fuck?
Yeah.
Was her name Eliza Lamb?
That sounds familiar. Is she like Asian? If you
Well,
can find
yes.
Okay, yeah, that's her. That's her. What was it you said? Liza Lamb?
Eliza Lamb.
Eliza.
Elisa. Elisa, Eliza. To me, that's Eliza.
Eliza Lamb. Yeah, that's the video. That's it. That's the woman. So this was like early 2013. She was young. She was young like this, and then this shit happened. And you can see like the whole video of her in the elevator just being like, bleh, like doing weird shit. And yeah, they found her body in one of the water towers on top of the hotel.
It was in L.A.
It was in L.A. Oh, that sounds
Yeah.
about right. That sounds about right. So it wasn't in Canada, but yeah, they found her body.
There's a lot of haunted places here, though. Like in Victoria. Well, Vancouver, a lot, because...
Well, the area you live in is pretty haunted, I know.
Well, remember that I took you on that ghost tour?
Yeah, that was dope.
That one well in that one really weird back alley in Gastown, people hear screams from all the time because of that mom and her kid who tried to hide from the fire down there but died from smoke inhalation. There's one of the shops there too that the basement suite, you can hear scratching and crawling and banging and screams quite often because there was people who died down there. And also the anyone who was like in that area, they all like kind of went to that one spot for some reason.
I still got video of that day. Maybe at the end of this video, I'll post one clip of that.
Ooh,
like,
yeah.
The tour, yeah.
Do it.
Yeah. I'm gonna do that shit. So
Little
I remember
clips.
at one point she took us by this alleyway, this really creepy alleyway, which I'm sure was used on Arrow, because like literally everywhere in Vancouver.
All of
was,
the alleyways are creepy in Vancouver. So.
I mean, alleyways in general are creepy, but there's something about alleyways in Vancouver that are very like, this is where you film spooky shit.
Yeah.
Like Vancouver would be a great place for Gotham, but it's Star City, close enough. So anyway, there's like she took us to this alleyway. She's like, "Good evening, everyone. My name is Elizabeth whatever, and I'm here to take you on the Vancouver haunted tour. Please keep close to us, and we should get going. My friends are here, and they're not very nice." And I
yeah.
was like, that's dope. That's
It's
dope.
so cool. They stay in character and they play an actual person that lived during the time period. And, well, they make up a fake story, kind of. Like, they
I'm
use
sure
a
they
little
do.
bit of real, but they make it up more.
It's a fake story based on real events.
Yeah.
So, like, I know there was an actual fire in Vancouver, so.
But the most haunted place is the Empress Hotel in Victoria on the island.
Was that, like, the white building hotel that we went to, that we saw in the tour, or no? Because I know she took us by this one hotel that looked like it was like a white brick building.
No. This is
No?
on the
Okay.
island. This is literally on the island.
Oh.
It's not here.
So it's not in downtown.
No, it's on the island.
Okay, so nowhere near
Vancouver
Glass Mountain.
Island, nowhere near. You have to take like
Okay.
almost 3 to 4 hour ferry ride and then drive to
okay,
Victoria.
So this was nothing nothing we saw on the tour.
Nothing at all.
Okay, I thought we were still talking about the tour. Okay.
No, Gastown is super like haunted because that's where most people died. That was also the huge hub before the fire and whatever. But no, the Empress Hotel on the island is one of the most like historically haunted places around here. And then a mining town up north called Barkerville is extremely haunted as well. It's eerie. I've never been inside the Empress Hotel. I've been outside of it, and you just kind of get like a little bit of, I don't want to go inside. I'm good. But I've been to Barkerville. It's fun and exciting, but you can definitely like feel like there's people here.
I'm being watched, am I?
I'm being watched.
Jesus. Yeah, Vancouver's the place to be during spoopy time.
It honestly is.
I'm sure there's plenty of fucking haunted areas. Well, we have a hotel in downtown here called the Congress Hotel, and I don't know anything too much about it, but I've heard like they would like get fucking weird noises in certain rooms because it's an extremely old hotel here in Chicago. And yeah, you can hear like voices and shit. So the hotel I stay at whenever I go to C2E2, the Hyatt McCormick. I'm sure at one point I stayed in a room where someone was in previously and they killed themselves. Because like I remember at one point like the hotel, that room was like unusually cold, even though I had the heater on all the way. It was like, this is unusually cold. So
Jesus.
Yeah. So
let me read a little bit about the Empress.
do it.
Victoria's historic Fairmont Empress Hotel is a stunning sight to see, being one of the oldest hotels in Victoria and facing the inner harbor. It's a perfect spot to soak in the charming city. Designated as a National Historic Site of Canada, the Empress is one of the city's most beloved gems. The hotel was built between 1904 and 1908. It's equipped with 477 rooms, 4 restaurants, gym facilities, a whirlpool bath, spa, and indoor swimming pool. But the popular hotel has a haunted past. Previous hotel guests have reported seeing a thin, mustached man lurking the halls with a cane. Some believe he resembles the building's architect, Francis Rattenbury. Rattenbury was murdered in 1935 by his chauffeur, who also happened to be his wife's lover. Other sightings include seeing a maid cleaning long after her death. In 1909, a chambermaid named Lizzie McGrath fell to her death after stepping out of the 6th floor onto what she thought was the fire escape, but didn't realize it had been removed during construction.
Oh no.
Yeah, ghost sightings have been reported of a frazzled elderly woman in her PJs that knocks on hotel guest doors, makes them follow her, then disappears once they reach the elevator. Another ghost that is believed to haunt the hotel is a carpenter who hung himself during its construction.
Jeez.
A construction worker spotted a shadowy figure swinging from the ceiling in the same spot a year later. Other sightings include a little girl who haunts one room. Whether or not you believe that creepy tales of paranormal activity, it's interesting to learn about the hotel's past. There's so many ghost stories about it.
I just found one about one of the, because I looked up like one of the most haunted areas in Chicago.
Yeah.
And there's this one called the H.H. Holmes Murder Castle. Now, have you ever heard of the book Devil in the White City?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, this is that. They
Lord.
tried to make this a movie. So, like, Leonardo DiCaprio was supposed to play H.H. Holmes, but I'm not sure if that's even happening anymore. But it says here that a former home of the country's serial killer H.H. Holmes is located in Chicago's Inglewood neighborhood. Inglewood fucking sucks. I never recommend anyone going there. If you ever go to Chicago, just stay in downtown or on the north side. Just never go to Inglewood. Anyway, while the building has been replaced by the local post office, the site was originally located of Holmes' infamous murder castle, built in 1893. Holmes hired multiple contractors for various portions of the project to ensure that no one person, aside from himself, knew the floor plan in its entirety. Incorporated into the plan were stairs and hallways who led to nowhere, oddly alleged hallways and windowless rooms designed to trap his victims, where bodies eventually would be sold into science.
Oh, the fuck?
So that was a thing.
Well, that reminds me of Robert Pickton, which is like Canada's #1 serial killer.
Oh shit.
So he's from the city I'm from. So my city is known for
England is my city.
Well, it's not Vancouver because I'm outside of Vancouver. So
You're outside
my
of
small
Vancouver, right.
town is home of Canada's #1 hero and #1 zero. That's Terry Fox and then Robert Pickton. And he was a pig farmer, and he owned this huge piece of land, which actually the brewery I work at sits either on his land or just off his land. It's that whole area's been developed and whatever, but there's many people who are like, depending on what part of the land they are on, they experience paranormal stuff, because he murdered a ton of prostitutes. He thought he was doing the world well by getting these women home and then murdering them, and he would feed them to his pigs. So that's why he was able to go on for so long.
Y'all should thank me. I'm cleaning up the streets. I'm doing your jobs.
Yeah, that's actually what he said. He
thought he was a hero.
He thought he was a hero.
Good lord, what a sicko.
But there's so many people that experience either hearing the girls screaming.
Or women screaming or whatever.
Yeah, it's definitely when you're over there, it's fine during the day. At night, if you go into certain places, there's this one back road just down from the brewery that is farmland. Uh-huh. It is really creepy to go there at night. It's not fun. So you kind of get the sense, but yeah. I mean, Robert Pickton, Google him, guys. He's quite, quite the man.
You know what's funny? Like we said a couple podcasts ago, it's been a year ago since I stayed at Vancouver and everything like that. I didn't stay at Lurk's house here because she didn't have any room for me. I stayed at the only hotel you have?
The only hotel in my city, and you were closer. You were on the right side of where his farm would be.
Was I really?
Yeah, you were closer to his farm. Yeah.
Can you believe that there was at one point where I thought about, going outside, going to a near convenience store to get something?
I mean, you would have been fine.
Would I, though?
Yeah, because you were closer to his farmland, but, off by at least 5 blocks from where it would have started. So guess. You would have been completely fine and not...
Also, wasn't there an actual convenience store, literally, just down the
literally
road?
Down the street?
Yeah. I wanted to get something, and I was seriously considering doing it, but I was like, oh, fuck it, I'll remember tomorrow, and I never did. But,
you never did.
But I was right across the street from a railway track, and literally, every morning, I didn't need an alarm clock. I had that fucking loud screech from the trains. It would terrify me.
Yeah,
and now knowing I was by that farm, I was like, am I really hearing trains right now?
Yeah, no, you're hearing trains, because we have one of the trains. Our city also has the biggest train yard.
It was huge.
Here, so
it was huge. Yeah,
we drove over it. The overpass over it, you can see the beautiful mountains, and then you look to you look off to the other side, towards the Fraser River, and you can see the volcano. And it's my favorite thing is when people are new to
Did you know that's a volcano?
Yeah, just be like, hey, you see that mountain all the way over there? Yeah, that's actually not a mountain, it's a volcano.
So
what?
You didn't tell me that till my last day I was there.
Yeah.
My last full day I was there. We just left downtown because we were just finished with the convention. And you're like, oh, by the way, you see that? I was like, yeah. You went, that's a volcano. What?
An active volcano, if it erupts, will be covered in thick ash.
It's not in Canada, is it? It is in the
No,
States.
it's just over the border. But
yeah,
you wouldn't think it's over the border.
If you type volcano near Vancouver, I'm sure you'll see it.
I'm sure. So, I can't remember the name of it right now.
But it's a volcano near Vancouver. That's about all we can say. So, so it's a spoopy world out there.
Share your spoopies down below. I'd like to know if you guys believe in the ghosts or the spirits, and
don't go in a cemetery and try to mess with them.
And don't mess with a Ouija board. Ever.
Yeah, just don't. Just fucking don't. My grandpa had a Ouija board.
A Ouija bird.
Yeah, a Ouija bird.
It's a bird you spin.
Actually, fun fact: my uncle had my grandpa had a pet duck.
That's
So
amazing.
So technically, he did have a bird.
I had a bird.
At one point, my grandma was bringing in groceries, and she fell. Like she. Fell
Why are you
down.
laughing?
Oh, well, wait for it. She fell, and like her legs went up, and she yelled at one of my aunts to like help her up, and the duck went outside, and it sounded like it was laughing at her.
Probably
duck-
was, because ducks are dicks.
So the duck went outside and went wah 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 wah. So, but no, my grandpa had a Ouija board, and when he heard about the fucked up shit that happened to certain people that got it, he threw his away and he threw his away outside and burned his. So
It makes me uncomfortable, like, even seeing them in stores. Like, I refuse to touch them. Same
Yeah,
with
I
tarot
know.
cards. I don't do that either.
What are those? Oh, right. Okay, I know what those are.
Yeah.
Never mind. Yeah. So yeah. Do you have any more stories, or is that about it?
That's good. I'm good.
That's a 55-minute podcast.
Not bad.
Not too bad.
Not
Well, like
too
Lurk
shabby.
said earlier, if you have any spoopy stories you want to tell, share them. Either they're ghosts or just weird experiences you've had. Let us know. Do you believe it or not? We don't care.
You believe in ghosts
Do
or
you believe in
magic?
spirits? And I hope you do, because they're gonna come find you and
Kill you.
shit your shoe. I don't know. Okay, or kill you, yeah.
Shit in your shoe.
Ghost hunters, I need your help. What happened? This ghost came in my house. Yeah, and shit in my shoe. You're on your own, buddy.
Yep.
Yeah. Who are you
out.
gonna call? Someone
Fuck
else.
this shit, I'm out.
Exactly. So,
Literally. Fuck that shit.
fuck that shit. So, everybody, we will see you next week. I think since we're gonna be uploading this in the 25th, next week will be November 1st. So, happy
My
Halloween,
birthday's
everybody!
in 10 days after that.
Oh shit! You're getting old.
I'm old.
So everybody, hope you had an amazing Halloween. Hope you enjoyed this episode. I almost said hope you had a good podcast.
Hope you had a good podcast listen.
Yeah. Hope you enjoyed yourself. And we'll see you in the next episode. Be sure to fuck bitches level up and bye-bye everybody.
Bye bye.
Bye.